Morning, everybody. It is Wednesday, June 28th. Welcome to the Comfy Nest with Grace. I hope you're having a good morning so far if you're up and at 'em. If you're not up and at 'em and you're still sleeping, God bless you. Enjoy every minute of that. I've been up since 4:30, you guys. I just couldn't sleep. So I got up at 4:30, made the coffee. My coffee's all gone. It feels like it's like 11 in the morning, not 8:15, but it's okay. I'm ready to go. Excited to do some sharing with you. I am coming to you for my segment in Craft Round the Clock, which is an around the clock sharing from creative business owners. Every 45 minutes, someone new goes live. So thank you for being here this morning with me to share and do some creating. If you are new, I would love to know that. Please let me know in the comments. If you are watching from my free craft community, the Crafty Chicks Club, or if you are a subscriber or a member of the Craft Therapy Club, thank you to all you ladies for supporting me and the page. I appreciate you all so much. If you're here from YouTube, give me a big old YouTube shout out. I'd love to see you. Hey there, Miss Tracy. There's Miss Tracy, our sweet leader of Craft Around the Clock. Good morning. Good morning, Jennifer. Hi, guys. Hello, hello. Look at all of you. I'm actually quite surprised. It feels so early to me. Well, late to me, but I got up early. Estella, how are you? Hey there, friend. Denise is here. Kimberly is here. Nancy's here. Welcome, welcome. Okay, so last night in the Craft Therapy Club, I was live inside the group hanging out with the girls, and we were working on creating junk journal elements out of junk. Old magazines, old catalogs, things like that. So we were pulling, you guys, we were pulling words out of the magazines and the catalogs and the junk mail that we get. We were pulling images from them and creating things, elements that can be used in your junk journals. Like this is an old map. And then I sewed and glued on top of that this gorgeous image from this was actually a travel catalog from a cruise line. I think that's where this one came from. You guys, if I'm wrong, correct me. I think this one came from the Norwegian Cruise Lines, didn't it? I think so. Anyway, we're creating elements, which is really fun. It's really fun because then you can have some elements ready for when you're ready to fill your junk journals. If you have not junk journaled before and you're learning more probably about this creative way of using up the trash that you got and using up the supplies that you have to create pretty books, that you can do anything you want with them. You can journal in them. You can use them as list books. You can gift them to people as elaborate greeting cards. They can be used as keepsakes and scrapbooks to scrapbook your memories of particular events in your life or trips that you've taken. They can be themed. They can be, random. They can be whatever you want. And that's the real beauty of it. It opens up things really wide for us creatives to just use up what we got and make pretty things. It's as simple as that. If you've never junk journaled before, I do have a workshop coming up in July, the middle of the July, 2 Sundays in a row. Make a junk journal start to finish with me, and it'll be in a private Facebook group. All my Craft Therapy Club members, you get it for free, so you don't have to pay. Everybody else is going to be $10. I posted the post here in the Craft Round the Clock group on my page so that you guys can get on the wait list for when I'm ready. I'm preparing everything on the back end now so that I can send out links so you guys can join that. Someone said my 13-year-old daughter, oh, it's Jennifer. My 13-year-old daughter, Anne, is getting the junk journal thing. Yeah, I love it. I love it. It's such a fun hobby. It's such a fun hobby. Good morning, everybody. Thanks for being here. Aw, Jennifer, you're so sweet. Look at her. Good vibes only. Jennifer's spreading them. She says, I love waking up to your creativity. Thank you. You're welcome. All right. So I'm going to use these today. I'm going to use these. These were 3 that we pulled out last night. And they're from, I love Home Decor Journal magazines. I don't know why. I just love them. But I wanted to show you. I have some other things that we started pulling from last night. Okay. And all of this stuff, plus a big pile of stuff that I had back there, came from my my own personal library of supplies and books that I've collected over the years. I've been using this personal collection of mine to create junk journal bundles for those of you who don't have a huge library of used books, magazines, maps, music, hymnals, ledger paper. I have a pretty big collection, so I've started creating junk journal bundles and selling them on my website in the shop so that you guys can have a really wide variety in a bundle of papers and ephemera, book pages, all the things that I've mentioned, without having to have a ton of books and magazines on hand. So if you're new to it, or if you aren't new and you want just more variety in your collection, those junk journal bundles may be something that's helpful to you. So these were the rejects. I told the girls last night, the things that got ripped, accidentally ripped in a bad way, or like I'll show you these pages in here. The girls, I think this was from junk journal bundle number 1. Like when I tore out some of the pages, they ripped. So I didn't put those in the bundle. I kept them and I thought I'll use them somehow. So we're going to use these today. And what I started doing last night was using these things, and organically, I didn't even mean for it to happen, but organically I ended up creating this one. I was like, this could make a really cute beginning of a book, right? So I took one of the pages from inside the Big Maze book. I cut it down. This one has a bumblebee, which is so cute. Then I took a chunk of map. This is how fun and easy this is. And I sewed it with my sewing machine. I sewed that into place. And then I sewed on this side, this photo, I glued it and then sewed it. This entryway photo from a home decor magazine. So, and then I thought, if I fold this, this could be a cute little small junk journal. These 2 images I cut out from the magazine and I loved them both. I was going to use them separately, but then after I did this, I was like, my gosh, these, if I fold this in half, this could become another page. And it really does match well with the yellows. Unintentional, just came together organically. So I thought, all right, this is happening for a reason. We're going to create a little book out of this. So this is the start of this book. I told you sometimes I start with the book cover. Sometimes I start with the insides. It just happens the way it happens. Here, it's the insides that came together first. Then I went into my little stash of goods. This was from ChalkCon, Chalkator Convention in 2021. This was my little packet that I got there. And I was spraying on the other side just to play. And you guys, you're not going to believe this, but I was like, this will be the perfect cover for my book, I think. So anyway, I pulled that aside. I also pulled this envelope aside. This was a gifted envelope, so that we might use somehow in this book, but we're going to create a few more pages. And I measured them this morning. It's basically, oh, no, I forget. I think it's 6 by 8. We want these inside pages. Yeah, 6 by 8. And if I can create other pages that are 6 by 8 and fold them in half, they're going to make more pages for our journal. So let's get started. Long-winded introduction. Good morning, everybody. Hi, Lois. Thank you for sprinkling, Lois. You're a superstar. I appreciate it so much. It helps so much when you guys, Lois is watching from Vermont. Welcome, my New England friend. It helps so much if you guys fluff the nest, as Cheryl said, or sprinkle or share, however you want to say it. Just if you are willing and able to share this into a group that you belong to, or with a friend who may be interested in junk journaling, I would love it, and it would help so much. So thank you for doing this. Diana, no, as a Craft Therapy Club member, I mentioned it last night in our live together. No, you don't have to do anything but join the group to be part of the junk journal workshop that's coming up. Okay, let's try to use this stuff up. So I think I could use this for a base, actually, and then a couple more bases I can make out of these. These are actually really large. So, and this cover is amazing. You know, it's really chunky. This I might end up using. I don't know how I'm going to use this. Maybe masterboard. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm going to put it aside for now. So I'm going to cut some of these in 6 by 8 size. Now, how wide are these? Girls, they're 9.5 inches, or to almost, 9.5 inches. So I could definitely cut a little bit of this off and make several out of this. So let's get it down to 8. First of all, I wouldn't mind cutting off a little bit of that white. So let's do that first. You guys, last night I was working and I kept reaching down under my table to throw the little scraps out to try to keep things neat. And then I looked down at one point and all of them were all over the floor. I kept missing. I get them in the garbage can. Okay, we're gonna whittle this down to 8, and I'm gonna keep cutting off the sides so I have as much color on these pages as possible. Yeah, 8 and a smidge. A tish would work for this book if it was 8 and a tish wide, and then it has to be 6 inches tall. So we're going to go for 6-inch chunks, and this is just going to become book page, like the foundation of the book page, and then we can decorate it. We can cover it with whatever we want, or if we really love the way it looks, we can leave it just the way it is. Oh my gosh, you guys, that worked out perfectly, because now that gives us 2 more pages for our books. Let's do that again with this one. I like to do them separately because, you know, I kind of make decisions about what I'm going to keep and what I'm going to get rid of based on what's on the pages. So this one, we know that we got 2 out of it. I might have to cut the 6-inch off first because I have this big tear and I don't know what I'm going to end up doing with this. So let's do, to get a straight edge, I should work on the straight edge. My table is so small, I'm limited in what space I have. All right, this is junk journaling. We're using stuff that we would have thrown out to make pretty things. This is not the end of the world. We're going to do something with that. We can still use it. Okay, now we have 2 6-inch pieces. Let's get them down to the 8. I think I'll just cut off a little sliver on this side. And mostly from... It's probably going on the floor. I don't know. I'm throwing it under my desk. We'll see what happens later. All right, look. Look at how much we're able to eliminate there of the damage. We can live with that, right? Okay. We got 6 by 8. There's another page. And then here we'll get rid of the ratty edge. Oh, it didn't cut all the way through. Oops, I think my hand pulled the blade up. Not the end of the world. Penguin playtime. How cute is that? Can we keep the penguins? Let's try. Let's cut off the other side so we can keep the little penguins on here. Look at how cute they are. It's from a kid's book. So I scour. I love to go to thrift stores and scour them for used books that are, you know, or go to yard sales and get books that are children's books, any kind of book, encyclopedias, dictionaries, travel books, gardening books. All of them can be used in junk journaling. And if you love a particular theme, of course, go for those books. Like if you love gardening, go for gardening books and seed books and catalogs and things like that. Okay, cute, right? We have 1, 2, 3, 4 more pages for this little journal. And actually, this will end up being 8, right? Because we're going to fold it in half. So we get double the number of pages. That's plenty for the base of this book. These were the 2 that we started with that were our inspiration. So let's start creating these pages so that they're a little dressed up. Because we have these cool glossy magazine images in here, let's do the same thing to these. I'm going to get a bone folder. If you guys have any questions about this process, or if you've never seen this before, or even if you have seen it before, any questions about the process or how I do it, I think that junk journaling is very individual to the person. That's the beauty of it, in my opinion. There is no right or wrong way to do it. It is somewhat analytical because you got to figure out, you know, sizes and how to piece things together like a puzzle. But at the same time, because we're creative, we love to make it pretty while we're doing it. So it really touches on a lot of like our brain skills and our brain, like activating things in our brain that it's so healthy for us and good for us to keep us, you know, we're not in school anymore. We're adults. Most of us aren't in school anymore. So I don't read because I get really bored with reading. I don't read, you guys. I mean, I read magazines, I read newspaper articles, but I don't read books anymore. I used to, but I don't anymore. This is how I engage my brain. This is how I keep myself busy and active. And I just love it because it's creative and it's like a puzzle. I love puzzles. If you love puzzles, you might like junk journaling. And because there's no right or wrong answers, there's no right or wrong way to do it. There's no pressure. We're just having fun. That's all. That's the only goal, is to have fun. I think I'm done with my cutter. I don't think I need it anymore. We're going to embellish some of these pages before we put the book together. But I'm going to get rid of this cutter, put it on the floor, put it aside so it's not my base anymore. Okay. I might need one of my catalogs for gluing. So let's get that out. I'm just going to prop that up. Let's see. Let me check some comments. Oh, Cheryl, every book is different. She wants to know how many pages do you end up with in your book. Every single book is different. So you can do them. I mean, if you like to have books all have 10 pages, do it that way. I don't normally have a rubric or a regimen for myself. I just do whatever I feel like doing at the moment for creating these things. So like I said, no real rules. You can do them however you want. You will want to think about one of the considerations, and I'm writing an ebook on junk journaling. One of the considerations will be, before you put a book together, how are you going to use it? How bulky do you want it to be, or does it need to be small and slender? For example, if you're using it, you want to have something pretty in your purse for writing down notes, or, you know, a grocery list of things to pick up at the store when you head out to do your errands. You would want it to be small and compact. You don't want to be real bulky in your purse, right? I keep a notebook in my car door, like that little pocket in my door, so that if something comes up and I'm on the phone with someone, I can say, okay, hold on, let me pull over. I'm going to take some notes about our conversation. I write down a phone number, an email, whatever I need to write down. So it depends on how are you going to use your book. It's a really good question, but there's no true answer. There are considerations that I'll talk you through. If you hang out with me more regularly, with Cheryl, you do. I talk you through in terms of how are you going to use the book, what kind of bulk you're looking for. I love big, chunky, thick books for the sake of art and creativity, because I love to fill them with fabrics and all the junk. I love to fill them. So I love my books to be chunky and loud, crunchy, lots of texture, different kinds of paper. Yeah, Jennifer saying that her books are peeling up, and so are her daughters. I'm thinking it's the glue. Yes, glue is a big consideration. This is one of my favorite glue sticks. It's in my Amazon store. It's the Scotch Create permanent glue stick. You can never go wrong with any matte mediums, either liquid or gel mediums. Matte medium will always work for you. Fabri-Tac is a really good glue, particularly when you're using fabrics on paper or fabric to fabric. Fabri-Tac is a really good glue. You can get a book glue, Jennifer, like a natural adhesive. This is a pH, so it won't turn yellow. Permanent glue for bookmaking. We talked about this in the Craft Therapy Club when we made that elaborate binded book, the big one. So again, Jennifer, what I would have you do for sure is private message me and show me what you're using and show me some photos, like what's going on, and I'll help you determine what might be a good option for you, even for salvaging the books that you have peeling up, because you can salvage them. Don't throw them away. Don't throw them away. We can work with that. Okay, let's see. Jennifer, I love that you called me Gracie. My dad used to call me Gracie. My sister calls me Gracie. Sometimes my husband. There aren't a lot of people that call me Gracie, but I think of it as a good, like a term of endearment. So thank you for calling me that. Katana doesn't love puzzles, but she loves to junk journal. Cheryl ended up with 80 pages in her book. Go girl. She said it'll take me a while. Oh, they're so fun. They are so fun. Does anybody want to see an example of a junk journal in the works? If you haven't seen one, ask me in the comments and I'll jump up and grab one. In the meantime, let's cover, like I want to cover that. As fun as it is, I want to cover that some. This I like. With the cloud page with the penguins, I like, and I like that one. But if, you know, if there's something on there that you're like, I don't like the colors, it's too busy for me, whatever you're thinking in your head, let's do some work to cover these up. So I have this left over. We're going to figure out a way to use that. That came from that page that we made last night. But I want to start with, I have these images that are home decor magazine images that we can work into this. Let's cover up some of this. And last night, what I did on one of them was I let this image span over the fold. And I think I will do that, but I think I want to put something behind this as well, just to cover that up. So I'm going to go into my bits and bobs basket. It's just a place where I throw things that it's like, okay, I only have a little chunk here. I'm not going to get real crazy about organizing this, but I just throw things in there that, yeah, see, let's do that. It covers up. It's very interesting to the eye. There's metallic inks on there on a book page that's torn. Let's do it. We're going to glue these down and then I'm going to sew. You guys, I sewed last night too. And I told the girls, I don't know, I could try to get this camera to show you my sewing machine, but I'm just going to go to my sewing machine and sew a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a little bit of glue. You know what? I'm going to use a little more glue, a little bit of glue, and then I'm going to sew the edges because in this book, I've been sewing on the edges of these pages and it just is, I love the texture of it. I love that, you know, it's visually interesting. I don't quilt anymore. I used to quilt. I don't quilt. I don't really do a whole lot of fabric crafts. So I'm going to offset this a little. So because I'm not using my sewing machine for fabric crafts, like I used to make pouches and all kinds of things, aprons, quilts, but I'm not doing that anymore. So instead, I've been using my machine for junk journaling. And I love to add the threaded textures to things. I'll show you something here in a second. Oh gosh, this is a sticky glue. Now, I did tell the girls last night, because I'll always give you tips. I'm going to offset these a little bit, which is funny. I'm going to show you something quick here. If you want to use your sewing machine, fancy or not, I mean, there are some junk journalists who have a separate sewing machine just for working with papers, because they're quilters and they don't want to muck up their needle or the inside, you know, they don't want to muck anything up, which is totally sensible. I just use the same machine for everything. I don't get that fancy about it, but I will tell you this. If you're using any type of wet glue, and this is more like a gel, it's not really liquid. It's a gel glue. You know what it's like. It's kind of like a lip gloss, but it's sticky. Now that that glue is underneath there, I would highly advise you to let this dry, the glue, let the dry glue in between those two pieces of paper before you take this through your machine, because the tackiness of the glue, while it's still tacky and it has not dried, it will stick to your needle and it will gum things up. So we're going to let this sit for a few minutes and then I'm going to take it. Oh, do I want to do something? I'm going to do something on the inside too. But check this out. I like how this worked out. Above, it says Gold Rush above the door scene. And then underneath I have the book page, which this fascinates me. I think it's really fun and whimsical to see how everything lands on the pages and there's no pressure. Look at, I'm not trying to win awards here. I'm just trying to have fun with my stash and use it up. So I try to inspire you guys to do the same. All right, let's find something to put in here because this is rather busy for me. I'm not sure I love it. So let's find, we'll go in the bits and bobs basket again. And maybe we'll do another book page. I've got all these sprayed book pages. Maybe we'll do another book page. What else do we got in here that we could throw on this page? This could be fun. I have this little piece of acetate. It's kind of mucked up. Oh my gosh, it's just about the same size. Ooh, this could be fun. They are so fun to make. Somebody said, this person said, the journals are so fun to make. I agree. I agree. Okay, this is almost the same size. I think to stay like kind of similar to this one that's torn, since this is mostly white up here, let's tear off the top just so we get something different happening here. And oh, it's colored on both sides. I really like the purple and you can see more of it here. So let's do that. If I use this little scrap, I know it got cut. That's why it was a reject from the junk journal bundles that I sell. But if I use that scrap underneath it, what's going to happen is it's going to tie in with this page. That's the page that it came from, like little bumblebee page. So I'm using that scrap in here. It'll tie everything together a little bit. It would be fun to make a little pocket out of this, but I want to find something else to put underneath there to cover those pages. These are just things, girls. That's kind of cool. You have to just eventually, you have to just commit and say, this is what we're doing. Okay, we can collage these together. It's a hodgepodge of stuff. Torn, not torn. They're going to end up something like that. It's just going to give a different look to this page than the other side of it that I didn't like. I would use Art Glitter Glue or Fabri-Tac. Art Glitter Glue dries clear. You can use matte gel medium. Dries clear. You can use Fabri-Tac. Dries clear. Katana, to answer your question. Cheryl says, journaling is my new happy place. Where were you introduced to it, Cheryl? Was it here on this page, or was it from another page? Or I'm just curious. I'm just curious. Where did you learn about journaling? And what were you doing before? Who out there is journaling? And where did you pick up on it? Like, where did you first discover it? And I would love to know, what were you doing before? What kind of crafts? A lot of us, it's not unusual. It's not unusual for us creatives because our minds, I don't know, my mind trails off and I get bored. So I want to try something different. So I do all kinds of crafts. I've already mentioned some of them to you. I used to scrapbook my kids' lives for a short period of time. I got bored of that. So I think we're constantly looking for new things to occupy our brains and to keep our little creative hearts happy, which is a good thing, right? That's a good thing. I think it's good to explore. I think I want this to be on top of here, this sheet, but underneath this one. So I'm going to put this one on next. It's just a matter of how do you want to layer it. I think it's funky that it's all misshaped and like it's straight edge here, here, and here, but then underneath is totally cut up and ripped in a random way. It's just the way it worked out. I'm keeping, I don't know if you noticed, but I am keeping these words, apple maze, construction chaos, because to me, it's like the guts of what's making the book. And I love to be reminded of what stuff from my stash I used to make the book. Because it brings me joy to, oh, yeah, that was from that kid's maze book. It just brings me joy. I get so cheesed out of using up stuff that would have gotten thrown away. So I love to see where it came from. All right, so we're gluing these all down like a collage. It just creates, oh, I missed right there, but that's going to get, I missed right there with glue, but it's going to get sewn. So we've got this on this side, and then on this side, we added those collaged items. I'm going to let that dry for a few minutes before I sew it. So let's go to the next one. So if you want to sew things onto book pages, sometimes, well, most of the time, it's easier to do your sewing before you connect the whole book and sew it together or glue it together. Because eventually all these pages will be nested inside each other, inside the cover, and they're all going to get sewn into place. So then when you want to do some stitching, I mean, it's really hard to take that whole book and put that page under your machine's needle to get it stitched. So it's a lot easier to do those kind of details before you put the book together. Someone here, oh, Facebook user, I learned to junk journal from you, Grace. You are a fantastic teacher, and I've learned so much from you. Thank you for saying that. Thank you for the sweet words. It really brightens my day. It is so encouraging to keep hearing things like that. So thank you for saying that. Cheryl says, I've been doing crafts for years. I loved scrapbooking and have tons of supplies. I first saw junk journaling by you on YouTube. Oh, Cheryl, awesome. You guys, this is the Craft Therapy Club. I say it all the time. And I actually created a post recently about the Craft Therapy Club being like a stash busting club, because I try in that group to do projects that you don't have to go out and buy new stuff all the time. My goal is to use up this 20+ year collection of craft stash. And you know you got it too. This craft stash that we got rather than going and buying new stuff. So it's very economical. If you want to hang out with us, I'm looking for more covered things to cover with. If you want to hang out with us, it's $15 a month in the group. There's a ton of perks. You get a ton. But I'm really going to encourage you to use up kind of the stash that you have on hand. Oh, I love the bright color of this, how that came out. I'm going to, just to stay true to kind of what we've been doing, so it all looks cohesive, I'm going to tear a chunk off the top. I'll put this one here. Your decision. Keep it for something else or throw it out. I'm going to keep it. Let me see if I can find a little piece of fabric. Wouldn't it be fun to throw a piece of fabric in the mix here? Just why not? This one's not big enough, but it's cute. I can glue it and then I can, it's gonna actually strengthen the pages too. I can glue it and then later, once the glue dries, I can. So, okay, we got that and I like it. I have this little piece of dyed cheesecloth, dyed the same way that the pages were dyed. So this would be a fun embellishment maybe for the top of this page. Although, could we? No, maybe for the top of the page. Let's just hold on to that. All right, let's look. I'm looking for some other little bits of paper. I got this little piece of map. Let's put that under there. Backwards and sideways. Let's put that way under. If anybody uses the Shuffles app, this reminds me so much of Shuffles. This is too small, but I do like the idea of a map. So let's just get ourselves a chunk of map here. We're going to glue this down in the middle, and that's going to create a nice little, I think I'll put this down bottom, down underneath, this on top, and then this like that. So that I don't know if you can tell. So the one on the most bottom layer is the fabric, and then comes the map, and then we're going to put these two pieces on top like that. Why not? Why not? Let's do it. It's artistic. It's fun. It's cool to see it all come together. Okay, fabric onto paper. I'm going to change my glue to my Fabri-Tac. Good morning, Barbara. Hello, hello. Barb says, I do all kinds of crafts. I just started journaling after watching you. You're a good teacher. And plus that from your state about 2 hours. You're 2 hours from me, Barb? Where are you, friend? And thank you. I'm so happy that you're journaling and that you're liking it. I'm thrilled. It makes me so happy to know that you were, introduced, or you're getting some inspiration and direction from me, because that's my goal, is to inspire crafty ladies. Most of us who hang out here at my page are middle-aged or older. All the young ladies, you're welcome too. I just tend to think a lot of the young ladies, you guys are busy doing the school thing and the work thing, the little children at home. I'm beyond that stage in terms of my kids are teenagers and they're independent. They don't need their mama so much anymore. So I have a lot of free time on my hands. So I love to share it with you guys, and you're all welcome. I don't care what age you are, where you come from. You're welcome to hang out with us here and learn more and grow more and use up your stash. Use it up. Okay, I don't have to use my Fabri-Tac on this piece because it's paper. You'll get to know that question that was asked. You will all get to know as you do this more how to use your glues. The more you do it, you'll just learn from trial and error, or join a club like the Craft Therapy Club. And I do like to share my experiences with products so that you guys don't have to suffer. If there's a product that doesn't work, I'll tell you if I found it and it doesn't work, and I'll tell you if I found it and it works for everything, which gel mediums tend to do. I'm a big fan of gel mediums. Okay, I missed a little spot right here. Let's get it down, girls. Christina, are you here? Lindsay, are you here? They always know I miss my edges. Oh, you're in Grafton. Barb, you are so close to me. Oh, Lynn, thanks for saying so. Thanks for saying so. I'm so glad you guys are learning and growing. And are you having fun? Are you having fun while you're doing it? I find it to be so relaxing. paper crafting and junk journaling and bookmaking. My craft therapy club, you guys, we've done so many different projects in that group. We do paper crafting, the junk journaling, the bookmaking, but we also do other stuff like this huge canvas. This we did in the group. It's a great summertime project. It's a mermaid tail, and I coach you through. You get the mermaid tail template, and I have one on paper, and this one was done on canvas, right? And then you can frame it in your house if you want to, or give it to your granddaughter, or however you want. You put whatever phrase you want on it. This one says, "She dreams of the ocean late at night and longs for the wild salt air." So there are a lot of painting projects in there. In the Craft Therapy Club, there are mixed media projects. There are junk journal projects, book projects. We have a lot of fun in there. We'll be playing bingo in July, and we have basically a share challenge. So every month you can share whatever creative projects you've created, a photo of it in the group, so everybody can ooh and ah over it. And then your name goes in a bin. I choose one lucky winner and I send her a box of craft supplies. What else do we do in the group, girls? Those of you who are Craft Therapy Club members, we have open craft night on Zoom every month, and then weekly lives for workshops, techniques, a monthly guest. You get 10% off in the shop. There are so many perks to being a member. So that's a good place to keep learning and growing and getting better at what you're doing, and especially if you're trying to figure out what supplies to use. Stick with me. We're going to try to encourage you to use up what you got on hand. And then, heck, I know if you're like me, sometimes I just can't resist buying new stuff. I get excited about buying new stuff. I suppose I want to cover, like, that's beautiful. Let's use this one this time. So I've got another magazine image. So by using similar things, I'm using maps, I'm using book pages, I'm using images that I pulled out of magazines. So if I continue this process, it may seem really random, but I'm using from the same stash of supplies. So the book will end up being cohesive in the end. You don't have to do it that way. Every page can be totally random in different colors and different images or textures. You can do it however you want, but I kind of like to make things cohesive. Where's that little map? That tiny little map that I had that didn't work on. Oh, here it is. That tiny little piece of map. Okay, it's going to fit in there perfectly, just like that. So I like to lay it out so I have an idea of what I'm doing, and then I'll go ahead and put it on. Map piece is going to go first, actually. It's going to go on the bottom. So leave that there just so I know. I'm going to put this pretty high, which is, whoops. And then is this going to overlap? It is. So this one goes down next. We do napkins. Of course we do. So I merged. Thank you, Lynn, for saying so. We do decoupage. We're doing tomorrow. We're decoupaging some white sneakers in the group with our napkins. So everybody who joins the Craft Therapy Club. Since I merged the Napkin Lovers Club, which had a quarterly box, I merged that group with the Craft Therapy Club. So it was one price. The price is lower than it was. It's all in one place, and you're getting the content from the Napkin Lovers Club and the content from the Craft Therapy Club all in one place. And because there's no more box, what I do is those of you who join, who are new, you get a bundle of napkins as your welcome gift to the group. That's new. I wasn't doing that before. It's another benefit. It cost me about $10 to send you that gift. And the price of the group is $15 a month. So that alone is a win-win just to try the group out. And then we use those napkins in the group to create with. Members who aren't new can purchase, you guys can buy that bundle. It's on my site, the bundle for the Craft Therapy Club. You can just buy it for a few dollars. Okay, look at that one came together pretty nice. It's kind of fun and interesting. This one, I don't have a focal point on it yet. But I really love the way the collage worked. with the fabric. So I think I'm going to leave this side without a focal point, and I'll add the focal point later. Okay, so we got another one done. This one I may just leave. I don't know about that one. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. Oh, I don't want to cover up my penguins. Maybe we can just add a little bit, but not a lot to this page because I don't want to cover up the penguins. Oh, no, I don't. They're so cute. Let's add a little bulk here, though. That. We could do the same thing to this. So it's the penguin page, right? These are going to become pages in the book. And this is a penguin page. This is from the penguin page. So I put that here. So I'll do the opposite. This one has some vibrant colors. So let's take this and put it on lower left. So that, again, they're kind of coordinating. Using up some junk from my craft stash. Junk mail. Oh, you can use envelopes. You can use so much stuff, you guys. We have so much stuff, don't we? We accumulate. Need a little more glue. Miss the edges again. Oh boy. Good morning, Andrea. Oh, Carol, I'm so glad you're enjoying this. Isn't it fun? You guys have a few more minutes with you. Mary says it's so well worth the price. She's referring to the Craft Therapy Club. Thank you for being a member, Miss Mary. You will learn so much from Grace. Why, thank you, my love. And if you don't want to do just one kind of craft, it's a really good place to be because there are so many kinds of projects in there. I think of the puzzle piece ornaments that we made. We did purchase, or you can go to like a thrift store and buy big. We bought big puzzle pieces. Big puzzle, so get like a child's puzzle from the thrift store. And then we painted and decorated in a mixed media way those huge puzzle pieces. And individually, they became ornaments that you could hang on the tree. And you could theme them however you want. They don't have to be Christmas ornaments. If you have a decorative tree up year round and you want to make Valentine's Day puzzle pieces, you could do that. So we do all kinds of things in there. So if you get bored easily and you want some company when you create, a club is a really good way to go. So Mary, thank you for giving that comment. It's really helpful. Holly. Yeah, Holly says, we will accumulate, but it'll never be enough. So true that. True. We're true to form as creatives. We love to add. Let's see. I'm looking for any comments or questions. Thank you, Stephanie, for blessing the nest. I appreciate you, friend. Yes. Holly says, if I can't sleep, I go and I craft and it helps to relax my brain. Yes. Good. Oh, Joy, that's a good comment. She says, we do so much in the group. It's so creative and inspirational. Joy, you've been a long time member, friend. Thank you for being such a good, creative sister in the group, a good friend, a good participant. You participate on a regular. I know you've been really busy with your family lately. Summer's tough, but yes, Lynn, she says one of our mentalities in the group, I'll always encourage you not to be too precious about things. Just don't put that pressure on yourself. We don't have to be perfect. It's all about enjoying the process of what we're creating. And she says, I have learned to relax. I'm not hurting anyone if I mess up. Yeah. It's not like you're getting paid to do this. And so your pay is going to be different. You're going to get docked pay. It's not like you're trying to earn an award for the how stellar your project is. I give away prizes just for creating and participating and sharing photos of your projects. It's not based on one being better than the other. It's just based on what I choose randomly from everybody who participates and shares their projects. One of the prizes every month. There'll be, I think now we're going to at least 3 prizes a month in the group that are randomly chosen from the members from our fellowship stuff. So it's not about being perfect. Or, it's about enjoying the process with a group of people who are like-minded. Okay, still learning not to overthink what I'm doing. Good, Cheryl. It is a process. It's a process, especially because if you had a job, eventually, you have this perfectionist mode where you got to get everything just right, whether you're a teacher or an accountant or whatever you did for a living. Or even as a mom, you want to get things just right. You don't want to mess up. Well, here, this is playtime. This is play. This is fun. Pull out your stuff and let's get using it. Let's use up your craft stash. Let's have fun while we're doing it. Let's share the fellowship with other ladies. That's what we're all about here at the Comfy Nest. I welcome you all to stick around. So thanks for being here, you guys. My time is up. I know we didn't get very far. I could show you quick, like these, if you can envision, these are all going to get nested into each other. And we are going to create, let's do this. Let's separate these two because they're so similar to each other. These will become this, what's called a signature inside your junk journal is a grouping of pages. And so as I haven't created the cover yet, I'm going to do it out of that envelope. But as we flip through, you get a really fun combination and you can switch these up. Like if you say, oh, I don't like these two together, you can switch them up and move them around. Oh, I wanted the bumblebee with the locker. So let's put that there because I love the yellow and the yellow together. There we go. Oh, and that worked out well because of the green. So you can flip your pages around until you're really happy with the way they're going to be situated. And then we'll sew these into a cover. And you make your cover out of a million things. But I think I'm going to use this envelope here since I already have it. It's the perfect size. And it already has some of this same spraying that some of my book pages in here had. Oh, where did they all go? Oh, there's one. So what I'll do is I'll keep working on this on the page or in, with the Craft Therapy Club. Oh, we forgot these 2 pages here. We have plenty of pages for this book actually to put it together. I'm going to do some sewing on these pages and then we can fold them all up and create the cover. So stay tuned if you want to see more of this particular project. If you want to join the Junk Journal, make a junk journal from start to finish workshop, it's coming up in the middle of July. It's $10 for 2 live instructional sessions with me in a private group. Make sure you get on the wait list for that. You'll see a pinned post at the top of the page, or you can join the wait list. Or stay tuned on the page here so that you get, when it's time to enroll, you see the link, you see the post, and you can join us for that. Craft Therapy Club members, do not join that. I mean, you'll get in for free. You do not have to pay for anything. You don't need to sign up. All you need to do is join the group, and you'll get into that for free. So don't worry about that. All right, girls. Diane is creating an altered book. Good job. Have a beautiful, blessed day, everybody. I'll catch you next time. Thanks for being here.